Could you please explain how Christian couples should handle fertility? A lot of stories in the Bible that handled. Does that mean you are cursed? No, it doesn't mean you're cursed, no. Let me tell you my story. So my wife and I, we wanted to have kids right away. Right when we got married, we were ready to have kids. And we tried. We tried for 6 years. And my wife was told bluntly by the doctor, you will not have kids without help. We just didn't realize where that help would come from. So after 6 years, we had made peace with the idea that maybe we wouldn't have kids. Maybe the kids we worked with in ministry would be kind of pseudo kids for us. You know, who knows? But on Father's Day, the church I was attending had a tradition where they would ask the fathers to stand. Now, there was one man in the church who was very prophetic. He was so accurate that when he came up to you, you wouldn't question whether or not he had a prophecy for you. It was more about, oh no, what's he going to say now? But he came to me and said, I noticed that you didn't stand with the other fathers. And I said, yeah, I didn't. And he said, I feel like God's saying that by next year, you'll be able to stand with the other fathers. So we received the first word, and then 6 other words that confirmed the same thing, and none of them knew that someone had given us a word that we were going to have a child. 7 words in total, and one of them was a famous preacher that happened to be a guest visitor. 2 of them even told us the gender, a girl, like we wanted. So here's the interesting thing. I assumed that being able to stand with the other fathers meant my child would be born on Father's Day. But my wife didn't get pregnant until February. But I will tell you, she was very pregnant on Father's Day, and I got to stand with the other fathers. You better believe I was the first one out of my seat. So I want you to know, the only time God ever cursed somebody's womb in the Bible is if they were trying to hurt his people. He never cursed his own people by the womb. He only ever blessed them. Some of us have to deal with different situations. We all have hardships, and some of us have to deal with infertility. And for his own reasons, sometimes he never blesses a couple with a child. What we have to understand is that God is good, and his plans are good. Even if we don't agree with them, he knows us and he knows our life better than we do. He knows how these things would affect us, and we have no clue. We just have hopes. So when our hopes don't match our faith, we need to cling to the faith. Now, there's nothing wrong with you praying and asking for a child, but you have to choose to be okay if he says no, because that's what my wife and I did for 6 years. We had stopped asking by the time he chose to bless us with a child. So I highly encourage you, make sure that God is enough, because if he's not enough before, he won't be enough after.